This is Matthew McConaughey,
Natalie Portman,
James Patterson,
Michael Ian Black,
and you are listening to
Five Questions
with Dan
Schawbel.
Welcome to Five Questions, Sharon.
Thank you. It's lovely and fabulous to be here.
Ever since childhood, you've dealt with reoccurring family abuse and illness. How have you been able to manage these experiences and become a stronger and smarter person as a result?
Woo, that's a big question.
We start
really
strong on the Five Questions podcast.
Oh yeah, right there. Dear, oh dear. Abuse. It's a weird topic for me. I had a father who I adored, who, was a very powerful man in the music industry. I adored him. I did a lot of things for him. He made me, CEOs of all his companies and bank loans and mortgages, and everything was in my name. And I thought he was doing it because I was so bright and fabulous, and didn't realize why he was doing it. He was doing it so he could be a free person. And if the shit hit the fan, his name's not on anything, my name's on. And he would be, oh, so what? You go bankrupt and it's nothing. It's no big deal. But I can't be seen to go bankrupt and this, that, and the other. So I was like his beard. And the man I thought he ended up that he wasn't. But I still really loved him and adored him, but I had to separate myself from him. Well, and meaning him meant my whole family, because my father's the head of the family, and that was it. I parted company with him in 1982. It took a couple of years to actually do it all legally and do the parting. We did it, and then, he was not really out of my life. He would send threats through other people, and it was a very hard time for Ozzy and I. Very, very hard time, because we didn't have anything but each other. Ozzy'd gone through a divorce. I'd gone through a separation of business. I lost everything. I had 2 suitcases. Ozzy had 2 suitcases, and we had each other. And it was a survival, and it was, I'm not going to fail. I will not fail. I just won't. There was no option. And so it gave me determination. My father had given me a good work ethic. And I knew everybody because of my father and working in the industry for him. So I knew everybody. But everybody was, oh, they'll fail. He's a drunk. He's a kid. Who gives a shit? And it was just amazing that when Ozzy's album came out, the whole world changed their opinion. As far as the music industry goes, changed their opinion. And it was like, whoa. And, we went on and we went from strength to strength. We built our little empire, whatever it is. And we built our family. And through it all of everything in my life, I've had so many ups, so many downs, so many really unusual situations I've had to go through. Not saying poor me at all, but I had really, really bad depression, and I had no idea what it was. No idea. Until about 20 years ago. And then I figured out what it was. And it's, some days are good and some days are so low that it's like, fuck, I can't even talk, or I can't even stop crying. But you deal with it. You have to.
I think that's a very powerful reflection. And I think as you get older, and what I've noticed now, I'm 37, so I still have many more years to reflect on, childhood and everything I've been through. But I think the older you get, the more you can take a step back from who you were back then and really look at the entire situation and how, it was tough for you, but there were lessons learned, there was connections made. It probably helped fuel your relationship even stronger because of how much you went through together. If we can get through this, we can get through anything like that. You adopt that type of mentality and determination, and then that goes through everything you do from a family perspective or work.
Everything. You get that fight instinct of like, I will not go down. I will not let them do this to us. Meaning the industry, meaning my father, meaning, everybody. You cannot do this. We deserve a chance. And you know what? We got that chance and we fought all the way and we won. And exactly as you say, you look back at your past and you go, Jesus, I can't believe my path in life. I can't believe. Sometimes I just put it all back, and forget about it. It was like Ozzy and I were winning. We were on a high, and then the plane crash happened, and Ozzy lost his guitar player. I lost my best friend. And it's just, unbelievable tragedies. Ozzy's accident. I mean, Ozzy was in a motorbike accident. He got through that. Then this accident he had 2 years ago where he damaged his spine. It's like, you just have to pick yourself up. You look at the positives. You have to look at the positives, because unless you go here, you're never gonna get this going. So it's always, I have this, I have that. So you keep thinking of all the positives in your life as a reason to get out of that bed.
Yeah, I think that's so important. It's good to have that perspective and see the positives,
Yeah.
just to keep moving forward. And you just talk about your depression. A lot of people are suffering from mental health. It's something that you've talked about, not just even on this podcast, but on national TV. You recently did an episode on The Talk, show that you co-host to spread awareness for World Mental Health Day, which is one of the most important days of the year, in my opinion. What advice can you offer those who are suffering from mental health issues right now and want to heal?
Oh my Lord, I just don't do what I did and not deal with it, not even realize, when you isolate, when you just don't want to talk to anybody, when you're antisocial, you just want to be on your own, in your own place. It's not right. You've got to go and see somebody about it. There are numbers to call. There are places to go. There's people you can talk to online. There are so many outlets now for people that need help. But, don't just think, oh, it's nothing. I'm just a bit down. It is something, and it's something big. And if you don't get it dealt with, it will get bigger and bigger.
I like that, because part of self-help is not just, what you do for yourself in terms of meditation practices, but it's getting help. And we need each other to survive and function. And there are, there's been such a stigma around mental health. The number one reason why people don't go and seek mental health support is because of the stigma. I literally led a study last year of over 12,000 people, 11 countries. And people would rather seek support from a robot or a machine for their mental health because they don't get judged over a human being or a therapist.
Oh, it's like, it was always, they're crazy. They're crazy. She's, she's out of control. You get that one. Oh, don't deal with her. Oh, she's so excitable. She's so this. She's so hard to deal with. And they don't, how can I say, it's like, so you feel insecure about saying, look, I can't fucking cope. I'm drowning. I am drowning. I need somebody to throw me something here to keep me afloat. And you're scared because they go, oh, she's crazy. Poor cow.
Yeah. And for me, suffering from anxiety, I was always told, settle down. I'm like, I can't settle down. I wish I could press a button for settling down, but that doesn't really happen.
It doesn't. And take a deep breath, count to 10. Oh, really?
I think a lot of life too is about understanding, like really taking a minute. Don't rush to a conclusion and judge someone for the way they're acting. Like, take a step back and be like, they're probably acting like this for a reason, maybe that you don't even understand. So take the time to get to know someone, build those connections in actual human understanding, so that you can welcome them into your life and make them feel better about being in the society.
Exactly. It's like, look, I always say to my kids, if you had a bad foot, you'd go and get it fixed. If you had a bad arm, you would go and get it fixed. So if you have a bad head that's driving you nuts, you've got to go and get it fixed. It's no different
I
to
agree.
any other part of your body.
Yep. Yeah. Mental and physical need to be aligned, right? And they both need to be focused on not one or the other. It's both.
Exactly.
And they both affect each other. I was in physical therapy once for, 8 months, and that affect my mental health, because I wasn't able to run every day like I used to and do physical things. And you're known as a very truthful person. You're outspoken about a variety of important topics like mental health. But not everyone agrees with you, of course. Any public figure who shares what's true and on their mind will get scrutinized. And how have you handled criticism from people who disagree with you, even though you're sharing the truth that you believe in?
It's my truth. I can only talk of my truth and things that have happened to me that I can advise somebody on. And if you don't agree, fine. Not everybody agrees. You could see a painting and you'll get 5 different opinions on that painting, or view of somebody who's beautiful. Not everybody thinks beauty is one thing. So you're going to get different opinions, and you're never going to get 100% of people saying, oh, you're right. You're always going to get people now to pull you down or say you're wrong and give you a million reasons why you're wrong. But I can only talk about my life and how it affected me. That's it. And so if you don't agree, okay, no biggie to me. You asked a question and I'm telling you my answer, my truth.
Yeah. I mean, even though you might be viewed as polarizing, the people who love you because you're being honest and speaking your truth. And like, there's so many yes people too in this world. And so I have friends. I have friends who will tell me things that I don't want to hear, but they say it anyways. And I respect them more because they're things that I need to hear. Whereas a lot of people will just bring around like yes man or women, and they'll just keep hearing what they want to hear, because maybe those people will financially benefit somehow from
that's
around
the
them.
thing. Exactly the thing. And it's like, I've been blessed to be in a position as I've got older that I don't need to do that. And if something bothers me, I'll say it. And if somebody is disrespectful, I'll call them out. I'm very confrontational. I don't want to be. And I will take it to a point, and then it's like a dam bursting. And I will just go and say what it is, and they'll go, oh, you'll get fired. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Because it's
tough
the way
love.
I feel. Yeah. And it's like, this is wrong. This is not working, whatever the situation might be. And they go, oh, that network will never work with you again. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I never wanted to be the biggest, the best, the wealthiest. That's never been my thing. I love doing what I do. I love working. I cannot not work. But I never wanted to have a huge empire and run a huge corporation. That's not my shtick. And I admire people who do, but I'm still in a position where I can say, fuck you, I'm leaving.
And that's a pretty great position to be in. And you've been a public figure for a long time. I'm curious, has it made it easier or harder or both to be a wife and a mother and that being in the public eye?
Harder on my kids, and that makes me feel guilty, but they're not kids anymore, they're adults. And so it was tough for a time on my kids because I had so much work to do, and I took all the work because I loved it. And it was hard on my kids because I had to be away a lot, travel a lot, and you get that guilt as a mother. The whole time you're enjoying what you're doing, but you've still got this big guilt inside you.
Makes sense, especially because you're kind of lifting them into the public eye, and maybe they did or didn't sign up for it, but they get the benefit, the pros and cons from that as well.
Yeah,
so it's like everything else is a mixed bag. There's benefits, there's drawbacks.
Nothing is perfect, and I can't turn around and say to you, oh, it bothers me. No, it doesn't fucking bother me. I love it. I love what I do. I love the life that I have, and I'm happy with the life that I have, the most part. And you know what? It hasn't affected me, but it's affected the kids in ways. So that's where my guilt is. But as far as being known and a celebrity, especially in this town, you're treated so well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, you just are.
Sharon, here's this table right for you and your family.
That's it. That's it. You know.
But you have to give up privacy for that. So there's always a trade-off.
Yeah.
People like
But-
to look at all the positive things, money, wealth, fame, but there are negative things that also come with this, and it's a balance, and it's not for everyone, and not everyone should just try and be famous because they're overlooking the downsides of that might not work with who they are and their personality and goals.
Exactly. And that's why one of my kids didn't want to do the show with us. And that's why, we ended the show. We said, enough. 3 years, beautiful, fantastic, enough. Ozzy's going back into the studio. He's going to do an album. He's, going to continue touring. I'm continuing doing my shtick, but no more reality.
And what's your best piece of career advice?
My best piece of career advice, whatever career you want to do, make sure you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Learn your craft, whatever it is. I don't care if you want to be a manicurist, a florist, a newscaster, a journalist. Know your craft. Do your research. Don't go up there bullshit and say, I want to do this, but you don't know anything about the path you've chosen. Do your homework. Keep your mouth shut. Get in, just to get in whatever the line of business is you want. Learn. Keep your mouth shut until you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's the opposite of the advice of fake it till you make it. Pretend you are something that you're not. Whereas it takes a lot of time.
You get found out.
Absolutely.
You can't do that.
And I appreciate the conversation. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed it too. Bless you.